And I think I am live. New settings on YouTube. It's amazing that they keep changing things up from time to time. But what I don't like about the newest update is that you don't get your table desk before you press go live. So I really like that feature on the old version of the live stream module in the studio, because then you could like adjust colors, and if you got like a wonky camera, you could fix it before you pressed go live. So yeah, I'm here. It's Saturday, and it's something August. Could it be like 21, 20, 20th of 22nd of August? And a year ago, I actually made a live stream where I painted my version of one of Mr. Shibasaki's watercolors. I wrote his name here, so because I knew that I was going to butcher it up. Anyhow, this was from a live stream, and one of my viewers and subscribers have asked if I could paint this one more time. And I think it's because she got new brushes and would like to see this painting one more time. So I went through my journals, and I was amazed how much that I managed to produce in a year. I couldn't really remember exactly what journal it was from, but I found the book, and I hope that this is the one she's talking about. So tonight I'm just going to have a relaxed painting session, working on this spread right here, and see if I can do it one more time. So you're in for watercoloring. I would like to use somehow the same brushes as she's just purchased. I don't have the water brushes, but I got these brushes here that's kind of similar, like this Japanese style calligraphy brush. So, rolling out this set and picking out some brushes. I know that I also have to scrape, because I can see that I scraped some of these area. And for that, I'm gonna use this from Terry Harrison's brush collection, because in the end, it's got like a scrape tool. If you don't have that scrape tool, you can actually knock off a piece from a credit card and then use that as a scraper. Let me see. Maybe I should start off with these two brushes right here and see what it gets me. But this is the painting, and I think it's actually from a real place. It's a real temple. So he painted it from a reference photo that he either took himself or he found on Pinterest. So that's kind of always fun, because you could actually go to Google Earth and then find the place if I knew what temple it was. But in this case, I don't. So that's the best I can do. It's Shibasaki's birthday today. 74 years old. Just came out of huge surgery and still going strong. He's a watercolorist from Japan. A really likable channel he got with a lot of product testing. So if you like to view reviews from Asian art supply market, it's a good place to look at. I have That's actually almost the reason why I'm there. I like to see their different art supplies. So I had some issues with my microphone the last time I was live, so I actually hope that I got sound. But let me know if someone is watching if I got sound, or I'm just um, not going through. And that's kind of stupid if I don't have any sound to talk about. You guys having to tell me that I don't have sound. That's like really crazy. I'm going to sketch it like really dark because I'm streaming. So hopefully you will be able to see my sketch lines. So now I'm gonna go a little bit quiet to get the sketch in. But there's like this tiny temple on top of a hill, so there's not a lot of sketching in this painting. The hardest part is actually the, I almost said gift shop. There is like a little, like a shop or something next to this temple where the original Shibasaki painting got people standing outside this gift shop, and they're gonna be like super tiny because I can see already now that, you know, it's gonna be a little bit difficult getting it everything in. I think I'm gonna use masking fluid for the small figures of the people, because then maybe I will be able to fit it all in. Oh, thank you, Joey. Hi, and welcome to my stream. I'm so glad for that feedback because last time I went live, I had no sound, and it took like 5 minutes of me just chattering before I realized that nobody could actually hear what I was saying. Okay, I'm sketching in some tourists that are walking. It's very tiny and it's very childish, almost stick figures. And then instead of a stick figure stomach, I'm putting on like a triangle dress. Hopefully we can save that. As masking fluid, I'm using this drawing gum, really really messy on the tip, I can see here. So maybe I should try clean it up. Okay, I'm just gonna squeeze out some masking fluid and use this piece of paper as some sort of a palette. The only place where I really want a white highlight is on the top of the head on these figures, because highlights on the head and the shoulders somehow help telling the brain that it's a figure, a human. So in my drawings, if it becomes like too small, like in this case it's very small, or too dark, I can always try and go in with acrylic white ink and then do the highlight on the head and the shoulder. Let me show you. I did some here. Imagine that the highlights were not there on the top head and on the shoulder parts. Then it's a little bit hard to for your brain to kind of carve them out from the dark background and tell yourself that it's a figure, a human figure. So let's aim for the best. I did go in and browse his channel to see if I could find the tutorial, but I kind of couldn't. What the heck happened? So I'm just gonna wing it with the colors. There we go. Autofocus is back. This is my palette because I'm working with Mission Gold today, and the Mission Gold paint I got in this box up here. So I'm hoping that you will be able to see my mixes. First, I think I will go in and do the background. I will use yellow ochre, some very light washes, and then, oops, I seem to forget that there actually is a stairway. There is a stairway somehow that takes a shift here in direction. And then it's like the hillside got a small path over here. And then I'm not gonna sketch more. I think this is enough sketch lines for now. I'm going in and wetting the paper. Shibasaki got a very special painting technique. He especially have some different techniques when it comes to his washes. Some artists they slant their paper up like this, so they got like an angle, and then they start up here and carry down a wash, and making sure that they got a bead of water to help them get an even nice wash. Shibasaki is different because he uses strokes like this to transport his pigment to the paper. So honestly, it looks really crazy when you watch him paint. You're thinking, what the hell is he doing? But it gives this dynamic look in the end, and he managed to perform this without getting a ton of blooms, which is actually quite impressive because when you go in super wet and wet like this and act like this with your brush, I would imagine that you would get a lot of blooms, and that it will just end up looking splotchy and unattractive. But in a way, his style, okay, he has been practicing it for a long time, but his style gives an end result of a unique painting somehow, because he's got small pockets of air, and not full coverage on the on his backgrounds, so it actually comes out pretty good in the end. Here he would go in with something green, I think. Already now I'm losing the hair from the bristles of the brush, and it's because I don't think that they're built to be painted with like this. They are more for like having a firm tip. If you do like this, the tip will shape up. So they're more manufactured to be used, working with the firm tip and not spreading out like I am. So I think the way that I'm losing hairs from the brushes on the go here is just because I'm painting like this. It's an inexpensive set of brushes that I found on Amazon. I don't. I think they have a name, a calligraphy brush set in a roll. And then the big question: do I like them? it's. uh, I think I am too accustomed to my other kind of brushes, so I find them a little bit difficult to work with because the barrel holds a ton of water. So you very often get in a situation where you're carrying too much water over to your paper, and I think it's a little bit too much sometimes. But I can imagine if you dip this in ink. Oh good lord, it would like soak up so much ink. So I can see how you can make these big signs of calligraphy with good strokes, because it carries so much wet medium. So happy to see you use the paints Janet sent. Oh yes, she's so talented doing the boxes. She really is. She really is. And you know what? I have used them a lot, but you can't really tell um, because it's a very frugal paint. So it's kind of the box that keep on giving. It keeps on going on and on for a long time. I'm really surprised how pigmented mission gold paints are, and the way that you can rely on them staying put in the pans, even though they got this wet look to it. So they're more firm than the M-grams. So it brings hope to even make a portable palette with this because it's super good paint. So I'm really impressed over the quality of this paint. Now I'm switching brushes. I'm wetting this one, I think, because I want something um, on this edge part here. I'm trying to carve out the rocky hillside. So we're gonna need some earth tones for that. Basically, I think it would be a good idea to just wet this whole area right here and let the paper really soak in a lot of water. Because I'm gonna do some scraping, and then it's nice that the paint haven't settled into the texture of the paper and already, you know, got married to the paper so that you can't scrape it off. I want to go in with something really dark, so this one is loaded with the paint. And then I want to start the scraping and see how that goes. Get some sepia tones in there. This is a good start. I think the idea is to scrape so it looks like there is this rocky surface on top of the mountain, kind of bring you thoughts about a plateau of flat uh, rocks where you could walk up to this tiny temple. Okay, that was the first scrape. Let me take off just some of this wet down here. And back to this brush. Hi, Rhonda. It's Mission Gold from Mijello. Uh, you have Mission Gold. You love them. Yes, it's very special paint. It's very potent, and I like that it stays glossy in the pan, but not as sticky as M Gram. My M Gram palette is quite a mess. Because they're super sticky all the time, they attract like cat hair. So over time, I don't know if you can see, all my wells are filled with like tiny cat hair that just get merged down there because it's it's like a moist surface. So you can't just you know dust it off or whatnot. But it's a very well used palette. I really like M Graham for the same reason that I like Mission Gold, because of the glossy look of the paint. It just inspires you to want to dip into it and use it. Isn't it right? uh, yes, M grams, especially when you live in Denmark, you have to import it. So you have to pay import fee taxes if you're shopping directly from the US department. But Jackson Art had some, I think they were like 70, a range of 70 different colors in tubes. I'm not sure if they got like new additions lately. Okay, I want to mix something that's not ochre but got a little bit of green tone into it. That's good. This one is good for this house right here. I want the roof to have that swagger, like curvy look. So to begin with, I'm just gonna do like that, and then get in some dark, and the masking fluid is dried up, so I can just brush over this area here. And this is where like I feel I'm freestyling and not really knowing what his tutorial had of steps. So it's going to be like a kind of different painting, you know. That's gonna look exactly like his. I'm trying to push the pigments like Shibasaki would do. Um, like I said, he's got this very special way of handling his brushstrokes. What I love about his painting style is also that he's not afraid to go in saturated. So a lot of tutorials where I've been watching, they're building up the values slowly. So you start with first one coat, and then you kind of assume that you're gonna do like several layers. But some Japanese painters are getting it done in one sitting, like one coat, and I kind of admire that because it really takes guts to dare going in super strong, and then not adding on later. Oh, Jackson art, I love it too. But now with the Brexit, the whole deal thing is evaporated because now I have to pay to introduce a shipping a haul from Jackson art into my country. So I haven't shopped at Jackson's art for yeah, since Brexit. And I don't even go in and look because I know that I will find something where I'm like, oh, I want it. And then, yeah, maybe pay overpriced because I need to import it. Okay, before this area up here dries too much, let's get in some of this brown earth um, mixed up with more green. And then scrape some more, maybe. I know it looks like a mess, but I'm planning to go over it again and again and again. Can you see now where the scraped area is soaked in and starting to dry, it leaves out this hazy, look like maybe a stone surface. So I think a lot of things in this painting is your imagination telling you what you're looking at. I switched to the very tiny small brush here. I don't feel that I have any control at all because the bristles are so long and super soft. So it's like a sort of painting with with a rigor. I can really feel how it takes a learning curve to enjoy that lack of control. I wonder why it is so soft. Are you supposed to wiggle? Like doing s- crazy strokes like this with it? Let's test it. Yeah, it's super flexible. It wants to make strokes like this better than it wants to have like a controlled um, application. Oh man, imagine having to put in a circle shape with a soft rigger tip. That's how it feels to work with this type of brush here. Okay, back to this building. The first coat is on. Let's continue with the second coat. I'm simply just gonna wet it again, and then because I have like a dirty brush, uh, I can try and make some streaks here where the roof is ending, and maybe also here. Now I want to put in some of the dark for what I think is windows. I got a cat scratching up the window outside. I don't know if you can hear a scratchy, scratchy noise. It's coming from my cat. I think I'm gonna let her in because poor cat. Just a second. Now she's in. The definition of a cat is a pet trapped on the wrong side of the door, right? Okay, I want to disturb this area more, but I think I should leave it and then let it dry. I want to make the illusion of some sort of a creek down here by adding in some blue, and I would like something like really faint, like a cobalt. So let me see if I can get that. I want it to look like it's like a river going behind this mountain here. Just so something is going on here in the distance. And then I'm gonna mix in some burnt sienna to give myself some gray. And then I will try and make some tip of other mountains in the distance. Maybe a little bit better tip than this. Almost like that. I wonder if I should put in some ultramarine in all this. That could be quite awesome. Some ultramarine with some sepia. And then maybe start down here from the bottom with some dark shades of rock formation. The thing I'm visualizing in my head is that it's kind of a rock, and then on top of the rock there is some green foliage growing. For the edge of this rock, it could be so cool if I could get some different marks. Let me try with this brush here. Maybe I need like a flat brush like this. I'm just picking up some green tones from my palette. I'm picturing where there is like a plateau on the rocks where tiny foliage bonsai trees would plant themselves and grow. Now where I got this flat brush, I would love to put in hints of steps, is it called? Okay, now I got an issue because this stairway is actually turning right here. So now the stairs are going to go in a steps, is it called? Going to be in a different direction. And maybe do I have a I'm looking for a flat brush that is tinier than this one. Maybe this one here. So I'm thinking in my noodle that this could be a plateau where you are walking a little bit and then comes the second level of stairs here. And it is like man-made, so I think it's okay to go in and define it a little bit rough. Yeah, we got stairs. We got stairs. I would like for this to dry up so I can see how it looks when it's dried. A little bit more green here. I think to give the illusion that this is like a hillside, I need something dark right here. And also right here. So it kind of gives the illusion of going down. Okay, I think that this should dry, and I would like to work more on this house. So tempted to hit it with a heat gun, but I got masking fluid here, so not possible. Maybe I can put in a little bit of burnt sienna in this area up here. I'm gonna try this tiny feller here. And I think I'm gonna carry up the burnt sienna to the tiny temple here. A little bit different shaded tone on this roof right here. Also give an illusion of something curving. Can you see when it's drying up that the scratch from this brush is making the paint dry up differently? So I kind of get this on the roof. I like that. Like it a lot. I got a very wet black. I'm just gonna emphasize the shadow from the roof. Just like this. Oh, I can feel it's still very wet up here. But this black hopefully will dry up patchy and give some sort of texture to the roof. So if I bring it up to the camera, you might see how when I wiggled the black on the roof, I got this like texture. So instead of the roof just being one color, we now got some dirty dirty texture. I wanted like pitch black underneath the roof, and then I want that black to help me show the curves on the end of the roof. It's gonna dry up a little bit lighter, so it looks a little bit aggressive right now, but it's gonna dry up lighter. I really dislike this tiny brush, but I'm committed. I'm committed to use this set. You have like zero control of that tip. But hey, maybe that's the charm of it. Like, pigment doesn't really end where you think you're depositing it. So maybe that will help you if you need to be a loose painter. I would love a little bit of yellow in there. I wish I had a quin gold. I just want some a different color coming from the building. Now I'm making this ground where the people are standing wet because I'm thinking maybe if I'm lucky with this tiny brush, I can get some shadows in here. Okay, now I should really leave it alone. A little bit of burnt sienna right here wouldn't hurt. Okay, let me see. Oh, you like it? Thank you so much, Rhonda. Um, let's see if yes, looking gets us all in trouble every time. Yes, it really does. Even though, I'm just looking at sometimes supplies that I don't even work with on a regular basis, and it could be everything from easels to, stuff that I really don't need. I can find things that I would love to buy, and that's what scares me because if I'm so easy to be influenced, then it's dangerous for me to just visit the page. So, but sometimes I have to go in and check for travel brush sets because I am in the market for something with travel brushes. I'm not quite sure what to buy yet, but I really have a lot of palettes that's built like a to go palette, like for outdoor sketching, but lots of them are lacking a brush. And then I'm also like, I don't know, I just don't. This is like a big brush to put in a set, but I like the size of the brush. I like the thickness to do quick sketches with. So I like that the travel brushes you can break them apart, and so they take up half the space. Okay, I want to let this dry. And now what I'm doing, I'm trying to let it dry by itself, but wherever I see a hard edge that I don't like, I go in and disturb it. So far, I think I'm okay with the edges. Okay, should I try and use the heat gun and avoid this area here? And then see if I can only hit this area here, because then I could work a little bit more with the steps. Let me see. I want to try this brush here. It's got like a much bigger bristle than that tiny, this tiny one. Let's see how it works. I think the reason why I got these brushes is because Patty Tolly Paris had a stream where she was showcasing some, was it like made out of wolf fur from wolves? And they look really interesting, but I cannot get myself to buy. I mean, such a beautiful animal. And I know that the brush maker said in the description that no wolf was harmed during the making of his brushes, but still, I'm thinking, I can't really see myself supporting that wolf farm. So that's why I ended up with this set instead. I wonder if you can scribble with this some something that looks like foliage. It wouldn't hurt the painting if there actually was some scribbled foliage like this. Got a hair right there. See if I can scrape it out. Ugh, don't like the hair. Oh, I need to wait until it dries. Would it be cheaper if I was able to send it to you? No, it's okay. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you. But every item needs to be cleared in, and if they spot a gift from someone and they can see that it was someone who purchased something for me and sent it unopened to me as a present, they would still be suspicious. I have had that happen with the Happy Mail from Sandra, where she sent me brand new items and then they took it as a purchase. So I think a lot of people are trying to stir out of the tax by having a middleman sending things. So I better not. Have you seen the Escoda Perla series artist watercolor 3 brush travel set for Amazon? $60? That's actually really cheap for Escoda. Wow, are those the one with the black handle or the wooden handle? There is a nice set of travel brushes on Amazon that has the larger size 12. That's a good size. Enlarges synthetic or squirrel about $15. That's also affordable. Yeah, it is sad because some people are actually sending a gift. So just maybe it's just in the introduction phase of the new rules and regulations that they're so strict. Maybe in the future they will not scan and x-ray all parcels that comes. If you want to make me a mod, I can link it for you. Oh, yes. Where's my mouse? There it is. I hope it helped. I think I should have given you the blue tool now. So- oh, thank you for wanting to be my mod and provide the link. That's cool. I will so go back on the uploaded and click on the link. Okay, if Lindsay got it, then you know what? She's so good at scanning the market before putting out her coin. So whenever she has vouched for brushes, I always, lean towards her recommendations because she is very thorough with her investigation about price level, what it's worth. So I love it when she suggests things, that I need, because I really know that she has been doing a lot of study. I also think that the brush set that Devon Rex for Art was showcased on Lindsay's channel. So exciting. Okay, I am gonna hit this a little bit with a heat gun because I cannot wait. And I want to peel off this masking fluid. Oh no, look, the shadows totally disappeared. I can go in and put them in one more time. Let's see. The key here is that all shadows must point in the same direction. So there, that's better. Okay, quick. Sorry for the noise. Yeah, that helped a lot. Now I feel that I can go in just gently and rub off the masking fluid. Just gently, gently. If the paper is too wet, it will totally peel off a piece of the paper when you are trying to rub off the masking fluid. So patience, I'm telling you, is something we really need to learn with this masking fluid thing. I forgot to say what paper I'm working on. Let me show. I have to brush this off anyway. I'm working on a block from Paul Rubens. It's a 300 GSM watercolor. I think cold press. Yeah, it feels like cold press. Oh, it is. It says cold press here. But it's not like super textured. So it's very fine, almost hot pressed. And I like that a lot. Okay, let's see what this half a rigger body here can do with the figures. I know that I want to go in and give the viewers outside this gift shop a highlight on top of their head. And I think I'm gonna stick to like dark colors for the hair, because then the colors that I'm going to use that's gonna be like in your face is only gonna be on their shirts, because in a piece like this it will look a little bit strange if I came in with purple and red and blue and a lot of colors, even though the tourists often are colorful people when you look at them in a crowd. So I'm totally thinking like black pants, black hair, and then maybe a color on the jacket and the shirt. And I'm trying to pick up some of the colors that I already got on my palette. I'm lucky I have a blue. Oops, there was a lot of water. I got a blue. I got a brown. I got a yellow. And just for the sake of it, come in with a red right here. That's gonna be an eye catcher. And immediately it runs up in the hair. I don't want it in the hair, so I have to dip it off like this. I have to go in later when that's more dried up. I want this somehow to be hit by this yellow. I got a very faint yellow um, sky over here. So I'm painting just this one side, getting hit by the yellow, and then trying to hit the top, very top layer of soil on this hillside with the yellow also. And then if I am lucky, I can also get a little bit of the yellow on the roof up here. Yellow is like super transparent, so it's not gonna show up a lot. Just a smidgen. I would love if I had like there's something off here with the staircase. Yeah. And I can see that the dark hues disappeared from this place right here. And I really want it to look like uh, it's got more depth. So going back in with color on this one. And then the Shibasaki crazy brushstroke style. I want to give the impression of cliffs like going down here, so that it's not like one solid rock, but it's a collection of rocks. So I'm giving it some burnt sienna and treating it a little bit like folds in fabric to give an expression of its several layers of a rock formation and not just like one solid cliff. Now I need to give the illusion of this shop here having a window that's like, a window here. So I'm just emphasizing the dark value, like you're looking inside the window. It helped. Let's see if I can hit the curve of this crazy roof that I want to make, if it wants to be made. Let's see. Okay, now I'm a little bit quiet because, like I said, it's really difficult to control this crazy brush tip here. Okay, better. I'm like totally holding my breath. Okay, this building up here, if that's the sunny side, then it should be like kind of in the shadow. Okay. Thank you. Um, oh, hi, Devin. I'm glad that you came. This is inspired of you requesting if I could show this painting one more time, and I tried to use this brush set, so it kind of is a little bit like the brush set that you bought. Oh, thank you. I got some light contrast on my streaming camera, so in real life up close there is a lot of play on the colors, but it's a little bit difficult to show on the stream. Let's see if I do like this. No, colors are crazy. So, oh, thank you. Well, I basically just wanted to come on and then show the this painting. It's got like a funny mouth right there, right? You kind of feel like drawing a nose and an eye, and then the whole mountain becomes like a mountain troll. I'm just gonna pick up mess from my palette and try and see if I can fill up this area right there. Yeah, that's better. I would love to have like really dark contrast right here. But this is so crazy to work on that you can keep on adding things to this rock surface here. Maybe I should just call it a day before I totally overpaint it. Um, you want us to come back? You want me to come back to live streaming? Thank you. I have to go spend time with my mom visiting, so I'll watch back later. Oh, you're welcome. But thanks for coming, Devon. It really meant a lot. Have fun with you and your mom. So, um, yeah, I think that I'm actually done. I've only been on an hour, so maybe I should skip to a different painting. So, what can I show? I can show what I've been working on. But before that, maybe we should flip through this sketchbook, right? It's like a year old. But I think I was more than a year to fill it out. So it's gonna be like old things and then not so old things. So let's see if I can get the whole sketchbook in the. Here we go. Okay, this is like journaling. Uh, this is the graphitine paint, Derwent graphitine paint pocket set. Oh yes, I remember I bought that. I was so crazy about getting it. Oh my god, I haven't painted it for a really, really long time. I'm going to grab that paint set, and then the next painting we're making is going to be with that set. That was an awesome set. I can't believe that I forgot all about it. This is just swatches. This is the graphitine. This is the elegant writer pen. Not so good. I think what happened here was that I made this, and then this other page here I saturated too much with water, so it destroyed the painting on the backside of the page. Did you get the Art Whale watercolor paint set before the price went up? Oh no, no. I haven't bought any watercolors in quite a long time. I was on a, as you know, no spend uh, time period, and I managed actually in that time frame to not crave new watercolors. I know it sounds like a lie, right? It sounds like not the something that would ever come out of my mouth. But believe me now or not, I really am really content with my collection at the moment. So I can see unboxing and swatching of new brands and not feel that, oh, I gotta have it, I gotta have it. Isn't it strange? So you can actually hit a place where your want monster is keeping quiet when you're watching watercolor unboxing videos. This journal is I think I named it my paint along journal here in the beginning, because I was supposed to just use it for like small paint alongs, but I like how I can recognize a lot of the streamers that I'm watching. Like this is Miranda Watson. This was a Lindsay Frugal Crafter one, more up close. Um, this is Kathy Arbor. So in a way, and this is Miranda Watson again. In a way, it is like a paint along journal. This is also Kathy Arbor, and she provided a link with the pattern. I got it here in the back of the book. So if you go to her channel where she started, um, okay, this because there's like two of this, and I can see that the camera doesn't even pick it up. But this is painted with the Paul Rubens Opera watercolor tube set, and this is just the regular Paul Rubens. So this is like the fluorescent watercolors, and this is the regular ones. This is just in my face. I mean, the pink is super pink. I can't believe why the camera is not picking up how aggressive this page look. So up close and personal, you can see a huge difference, but um, not on the camera. Another of Shibasaki's painting sessions, where you can really tell those crazy brush strokes, those where he's kind of layering up. Can you see how he's like layering up by going down in different directions with different colors? Oh, I love this. Look at the roof, how it's like transitioning from purple to a green tone. This is, yeah. Here I bought the Artista watercolor set, so now I'm just playing with that new set of Artista paint. Roses, my nemesis. Another Shibasaki where he's using wax crayons. So this one is made by using these wax crayons from Posca. And it's actually a fun crayon. No idea what this is. Now we're coming to like the end of a journal. I don't know if you guys feel like when you're coming to the last page of a journal, it's always a little bit messy, because you're like this, because that's the last page. You don't want to waste it, but you want to close up the book and then be finished with the journal. So that's it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't do enough flip throughs of my journals on my channel for sure. But it's fun to see them when I do them. Okay, I'm totally going to get that Derwent Graphitin watercolor palette for the next drawing because man, I totally forgot that I had that one. Just a second. They also got the ink tents in these. I think they call them travel set or something. But I got the Inktense pencils, so I don't feel like buying the Inktense watercolor travel set so far. I don't know. I just for some reason thought that I got the pencils, so it would be like double confetti to have the pencils and then also the same lead just in a watercolor case. But then I got this set and then I tried painting with them. I realized that, oh, there is a huge difference from using the pencils to using the pans. It's like there's just a difference, Like these are the pencils, the graphitin pencils. And when you pick it up in pan form with a lot of water on your brush, you get like a different application than when you're just trying to pick up from this tiny lead tip here with a wet brush. So suddenly I'm a little bit like, should I have gotten the ink tens in pan sizes? But okay, let's try and do a loose watercolor sketch of we could do like a house. Have you seen those houses from Art by Mylene? They're like very likable. I think I know how she makes them. It looks like she is first drawing in everything on her drawing, but I actually think that I cracked the code of how she get that super loose, um, quirky, wonky, happy look on her watercolor illustrations. She's making them into stickers and everything, die cuts. Now I'm a little bit quiet because I'm trying to sketch it up. You could have like a curve here and then some super tall windows. Okay, we're just gonna make a quick house because I want to show you how I think she makes them. Okay, can you see like, oh no, you can't even see. Typical camera. Let's get in focus. No? Ah, I think the white is throwing it off. Let me put down. Um, what can I put down? There's a lot of color here. So that's odd. The camera should focus now where I got so many colors here. Does it focus? Yes, it's the white paper. Ah, okay, what can I do? This is kind of black if I turn it over. Now I got the focus. I don't get it. I deliberately got a black surface here, to cover for the black, but hopefully this will help. Okay, my theory behind the Art by Marlene houses. I think that she starts off with a totally rough sketch, just like this. It's like a kid's drawing of a house. And then she goes in with a super, super loose watercolor that's like totally wet and wet and wet. Watch how I'm like swimming in water here and not really caring about how pigments are getting on the paper. Oh, I think we should put in a chimney. Chimney coming up. Chimney. And then while it's still wet, she just takes some crazy funky colors and put them in stripes, for instance. And I know it looks crazy and it looks like, what am I doing? But hang on. And then she comes over it with a wet brush and kind of rolls down the pigment. So it's a loose style where you start with loose and then wetting it up and rolling it. And then the house down here, what color should that be? That could be like bluish. I like the blue one. So Art by Marlene style would be that she now would switch. She would make like one corner in one color, then switch to still blue but a different hue of the blue. Put in maybe a little bit of purple now. Work with the blue so that you get just the impression of a blue house, but when you really look at it, it's never really blue from top to bottom. It's like different colors mixed while she's doing her first application. So you could say that I got a semi like like a bluish house now that starts off a little bit greenish. And then she probably also would put that green color up here. Let's do sage for this one. But can you see how fun it is to apply this watercolor? Because there's like no line work really. I mean, you can't really do a mistake. So it's like very playful, very splotchy. So it's like giving the impression of something that looks super easy, which it actually kind of is. And then let's get some foliage next to this. Let's see if I can mix. I got a green one. That's cool. Let's just use the green one. And then put in some blue in it to get a different shade of green. Some more green over here. And then just some different color on the back here. And it could be nice with something that's a little bit dark here. And now I'm just trying to mix it all together, come in with some splatters. Some of these kind of yellow, that's not yellow, greenish up here. And now I'm just splattering water. And seriously, it looks like a kid's drawing, right? But this is going to dry up, and then we're going to put in the finish, which is the line work. And the line work is what's going to elevate it from being a kid drawing to a, a like wonky, happy looking house. Because the line work is going to help us identify a lot of the things in this house. So let me hit this with a heat gun. It's like super wet right now. I wish I could come in with some like a light blue, very watered down, just a little bit of sky up here. It could maybe twist into a little bit purple. Okay, at this level, everybody should be able to paint along. I mean, it's just so messy and like really like a kid's drawing. So let's try it up and come in with the line work, and then maybe you can understand what I mean. So heat gun. And then it takes like a long time because it was like really, really wet. And to speed up the drying, I'm just gonna take off some of the puddles. I need it to be like super dry because I want to go in with microns, or I got these pit pens from Faber Castell. Maybe I can pick out some of them. Okay, I could dry it forever. Okay, now comes the fun part. Let me see. This is I need first to outline some sketch lines. Like this one is perfect. And this is where you can see what I mean, that her stickers that are looking like super loose watercolor actually are done where I think she's having a loose style before her line work. So it's not like she just lined up everything and then went in with watercolor, because that would really kill the mojo if you had to stay within the lines and be very meticulous and careful. So as soon as you get like really meticulous, it shows in your line work, because then it becomes like non-spontaneous, or like done with a ruler or something. But it really doesn't take much to add some elements to elevate this from crazy kids drawing into something that we can recognize. I'm just going super fast now because I'm streaming, because this actually is something that you could really take your time with and have a nice sketching session out in a chair in the garden, because you can just keep on adding elements. So I'm just basically trying to put in, and I try to do like a double line for every time I'm drawing one line, because it makes it looks a little bit quirky, and it has this pretty fun effect, because the whole painting is done so like looking like really spontaneously. So these quirky lines here are just a nice play to that. I'm sorry for not looking in chat, but while I'm doing this, I'm thinking about the next move, like uh, and this may look like it's irritating having to put in all this, but it's actually the fun part. I think I'm gonna give myself like a doubled stripe here on the roof before I come in with the tile work. Whoops. Oh man. This paper is so wet, so it's like super buckling. And then the more you add of these line work, or what's it called, like sketch lines, the more you will get away from that childish wet look that we had before into something that looks like the Art Marlene die cut book. Of course, she's doing her beach houses where she's got like fun elements, like you know, surfboards and like nautical things, paddles, canoes, and something that tell you that it's like a beach house or something. But I just quickly want to show in this quick fashion here how putting in colors sporadically and a lot of line work is gonna complete it. Oh, hi, Kathy. Welcome to my stream. Um, yeah, this is just like a request from Devon, who wanted to see me redo a painting from Shibasaki. And it's so funny, it's actually his 74th birthday today. So I thought, well, that's a good a good occasion to come on and do his painting today. Oh my god, I'm really trying to sketch like impromptu while thinking and talking, so I can really feel that I'm using every cell in my brain just to concentrate on this. Okay, and the bushes we're gonna do like this, and also here. And these bushes with the ink lines like this is like totally urban sketching style. Okay, now comes the hysterical fun part for me, which is to use these pit pens. I use them way too little. I got the portrait set of the Faber-Castell pit pen, but I think they're so potent. They don't have like pastel tones, so I rarely use them for what they're intended to, which is like portrait. Needs a lot of practice to do that. But I think it's just a question of having them out on my table and trying to play with them more often. The most lovable quality about these pens is that it feels like I'm painting or drawing with a Sharpie marker, but this is not ghosting through to the page behind. But it feels like really like Sharpie, but look, it's not ghosting through at all. I mean, it's amazing. So it's an awesome tool. Okay, this window here could be like more refined, right? Okay, and then I would come in with watercolor for the rest of the shadows. This really brings out the building. Like, look, I'm going to do it up here on the roof. Can you see what a difference it makes to do these, in a way, simple strokes? And down the windowsill here. I have no clue what I'm gonna do with the door. What to do? Okay, this drain here could have some shadows. I really need to borrow a color from a different palette because it could just be awesome to have like a red square. It's super nice, the graphitine palette, but it lack some colors like a bright yellow, for instance. It could be cool if it had like a bright yellow. Okay, I'm holding my breath. Oh. Okay, and then this window. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at looking at chat today. I'm super absorbed by this. I think this is such a fun approach to do a house, and you get like a very surprising, fresh look because you started backwards. Like you started putting in a liquid wash before you even decided where most of your line works are gonna be placed. And I love that transformation from a kid's drawing coming in with the pit pens from Faber-Castell and then elevated to something completely different. And even the roof here, you can just go on and on manipulating with the values. Can you see how easy it is to get that Art by Mylene quirky style? Okay, that's it. There's a new urban watercolor palette that uses Inktense, and the palette you are using, oh, uh, like in Inktense pencils, and then this graphite one. This one is really graphite, like hence the name graphite. But you can really tell there is this special graphite sheen on the dried page. Like that's a really nasty shadow I got right there. But you can really tell that it's like graphite, the way that it's acting. So it is a different formula than just a watercolor. I think they just took graphite and then put gum arabic in as a binder or something. But I like it a lot. Yes, but the Inktense is in pan form. Oh yes, I know. The same like this one. I did see it when it was released, and I refrained from buying it because I used the pencil and I just hold the pencil tip, and then take with a brush from it. But I have to admit that this is a graphite tint pencil, right? And this is a graphite tint palette, and there is a difference. I mean, it is different to pick up your value from a tip, or if you like scratch down and have like a paper palette like this. It's just more troublesome to get lots of pigment this way than just having the ability to just dip in and then really load a brush and then can put a lot of pigment in one go. So I am actually kind of like, should I get the ink tents in the travel set? The palette is 6 pans of each brand. Oh wow, an urban sketch. Hmm, wonder what they pick. Only 6 colors, like ultramarine, yellow, red, maybe a burnt sienna, a Payne's gray, and an ochre. I think I would pick if I should pick pans for an urban sketching palette. This is urban sketching style. Yes, I think it might be. Yeah. But I love the approach of doing it in reverse, not starting up with a lot of lines that you feel your brush need to stay inside the line. So in my case, I start with the fun part first, which is to put down a color in a wet wash, and then afterwards comes, you could call it tedious, putting in all the lines. But sometimes when I watched finish the urban sketching journals, when they're doing like flip throughs, I get so jealous about, oh, they had took the time to put in all the details. I really like that look. So there is so much to gain from taking the time to get to know the pen work and put in all those lines. And I can see that I forgot some line there. Hmm? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Rhonda. You really rock. Oh my god, I'm gonna make Kathy. Kathy, is it okay I make you a moderator too? Because you got so many tips and tricks. So maybe if you were a mod on one of my streams, that you could um, help me keep the chat clean, and then also if you feel like I don't get what you're saying, you can put in a link. So, yes. Yes, it's fun both ways. I think I like the messy approach first. When you get your brush wet first, and then comes the line work. So, but today we made this inspired by Shibasaki, and then for some reason we just talked about the graphitin palette, so we made this. So, thanks for coming to my stream, and yes, it is like pulling an all-nighter. It's like almost 4 o'clock in the morning here in Denmark. So, but I have been a lazy sloth all day. I'm telling you, I had like a tons of chores. I needed to hose down our picket fence because it's been raining a lot, so it was getting dirty. I needed to mow the lawn. I had a lot of chores actually, but instead I've been outside in the garden, falling asleep, reading a book, doing nothing. So I am totally awake right now. I think I slept my portion of night sleep outside in the garden. But it's okay. There's still tomorrow for all those chores. So, but thanks for coming, and hopefully see you. I'll see if I'm in the middle of something with work at the moment. We got company taxes coming up the 1st of September. So I think that the week that we are entering, I'm not going to do so many uploads or stuff because I need to book this company tax thing first, and then I can play. But as a true procrastinator, I kind of pushed it. So I'm a little bit pressured with that task. So, yeah. Come on again when you can. I will, Rhonda. So, thank you for enjoying it. Thank you so much. So, but I will. I will. I'll just say now that until the 1st of September, I'm not gonna be so productive because if I keep having up this lazy sloth lifestyle, I will really need to work full time to get those company taxes figured out. So yes, thanks for coming to my stream. Have a nice week. Bye bye.